Okay, hello everyone, Busy Gamer Dad back again, doing another session gameplay series. This time we're going to be looking at Banners of Ruin. Now, I actually have not played this game for more than a few hours. I picked it up when it was on sale, and I just loved the art style for it, and it really spoke to me on that artistic level. You know, who says video games can't be art? And I really enjoyed the videos that I did see for it in the, we'll say the press release for the game. I just never got a chance to play it, and part of the fun of doing these videos is I actually get to jump into my Steam backlog and play a few games with you guys here and there to show you the games that I've been playing and the games that I have yet to play. And this being one of them, because this looks like a lot of fun for our session gameplay series, where here on the Busy Gamer Dad channel we pick up a game, we try it out for 2-3 episodes. I say 2-3, it's 3 episodes, about 20-30 minutes long, and then we put it back on a shelf and we try and pick it up at a later date. The video's format is about 20-30 minutes per session. We try and keep the run going as best we can. When you're a busy gamer, that's sometimes all you can get into your schedule to allow yourself some, self-care, some unwind time after you've done the adulting or been the parent, and you just want to relax with a nice cup of coffee or tea or something like that on the weekend. Instead of reading a book, you want to have something that's a lean forward interaction as opposed to a lean back interaction. And this game is definitely a looker. I love the art style on this game. We'll get into that when we start playing the game proper. So, Banners of Ruin. What is this game? This game's been out for probably about 2 years now, and basically it's a roguelite where we assemble a party, we go through essentially a deck that has columns, and that will make sense in the gameplay, and we have combat, and we resolve that combat through our card deck, and it's very unique with a lot of the ranks. So we have 2 rows on each side, so the enemy has 2 rows, we have 2 rows, and we have to balance our attacks and our defenses to make sure we're mitigating and going into a pragmatic decision, as it were. And we want to make sure that we have our Bayes' theorem. We learn better. We try, die, and fail better every time we go into this. So I did have a run going that was just a fun little run here, and it's basically the end of the tutorial run because I wanted to make sure I knew exactly how I was going to play this game for you guys. So I think I'm going to abandon that run, and we'll actually start a new run proper with some of the characters that we have available to us. So right here, and this is what I mean, like, look at that. Right out of the gate, the art style is just fabulous. It's just dripping with care and investment by the people who made this game. So I played enough of the game to unlock the Weasel character. I have not tried them yet. I think I'm going to stick with the bear-mouse combo, though, because that just is probably going to be what you guys are going to start with, definitely, and what you're probably going to learn and play the most with. You can do 2 mice, you can do 2 bears if you wanted to, and I have done some runs that way. It's been fun, but it hasn't been as diverse as I want it to be. So we'll start off playing our campaign. So every campaign starts the same. We have our characters off in the corner here. We have our character window up here. We can see them. We have the equipment that they have, a hatchet and a shield for the mouse. He's kind of our tank, as it were. And then we have our bear, who has a 2-handed sword that deals damage wide sweeping across the rows if we get the cards. And you want to pay attention to the will. The will is the blue, and the stamina is the yellow. And you also want to make sure that if you're seeing this card come up in your card draw, only the bear can play this card, and only the mouse can play these 2 cards, because that's part of their specific set, as it were, of cards. Because the bear doesn't have a shield, so they can't use the card. The bear isn't carrying the hatchet, so they can't use that card. Another thing that's important to note with this game is you have a cache up here for armor, and in your stash, if you're carrying weapons, they actually affect the cards in your deck as if you were carrying them. So you have to make sure that you don't carry things that you're never going to use, and you don't get to be a loot hoarder in this game, and you can suffer from deck bloat, and the gear that you're carrying in your stash can actually attribute to that. And then as far as anything else goes, you know, as you gain levels, your characters gain power, you gain different passives. Over here on this side, you gain different cards for them to pull from and draw from. You can make your mouse into a two-handed dual-wielding hatchet mouse if you wanted to. They don't necessarily have to have the shield if the cards are in your favor. Likewise, you can swap to the bear, having him be your sword and board guy if you so choose to. And you have your deck up here at the top, and this is pretty standard, and you can't augment this that I know of. Out of the gate, you get the changes through the events in the game. You don't have the ability to change this unless you change your characters that you start with, i.e. if you go with 2 mice, or if you go with the 2 bears, or a mouse and a weasel, or something like that. And there are other character classes for you to unlock as part of the meta progression of the game. So from there, I'm gonna leave them where they're at in their combat positions, and we'll go into the lanes. So right out of the gate, we can actually get weapon cards, we can boost our spirits, or we can increase our character stats. Ooh. I want to do character stats. Let's do the character stats. I think we want to increase our... So, stamina recovers at the end of every fight, or every round, I'm sorry, and will recovers at the end of every fight. So that's a very finite resource. Stamina is what your main resource is for all of your cards, but some cards require will and stamina, which you can only maybe use as like a Hail Mary card. So make sure that you're not spending your will points. I think what I'm going to do is the stamina though. That way I can pick one character. I'm going to have the bear. Rawr. So the bear has more stamina. So now those cards fell away, and now we're going into the quest proper, as it were. So as I understand the story arc in here is we're like the Blackfoot agents. We're assembling a party to, you know, strike back at the noble Enders in Dawn's Point City, and we're trying to covertly get into the castle and deal a decisive blow against them. And it's a really good story. In the, like I said, the animation, the cards, you'll see. Let's get into the combat. Forgotten Tunnel. You emerge from the black and find yourself in one of the guard bunks. Where in the devil did you come from? You can't be here. And so there's a rabbit and a mouse in the guard bunk, and then this is the main game, as it were. Indicative of most card games, your races have intrinsic bonuses that require a will to use, a will point to use. So the bear removes all stacks of bleeds and impairments, poisons, and gains exhaustion or winded, and so they lose stamina per the stacks, and they gain 3 armor per stack. So everything they remove, they gain 3 armor. So basically, it's like a super turtle up move. And then your mouse is a quick strike, essentially, is what I like to call it, where your next attack gains 3 charge, where it adds damage based on the number of charge counters you have. And then when you're attacking someone, it removes the amount of fury that enemy has, as well as their charges, removes one of those. So if we were to do that and, say, couple it with a multi-strike attack, like our rush here, that's where the big damage comes in from your mice character. So you want to make sure you're playing into those strengths as you progress through the game. And you're understanding those, we'll say, subtle nuances for the way the cards play into each other. And likewise, you don't want to bleed all your neutral attacks, as it were, like our Vanguard, on one character or another. You want to make sure that your characters are spending the will points somewhat evenly. There are going to be those situations where your bear isn't going to have the ability to do much damage, or maybe even at all, and he'll be stuck blocking. You want to make sure that you're understanding where those events happen and how to, play around them, because that happens. And then finally, the last thing is, what are the enemies going to do? You can see that down here, and it looks like they're both going to be doing 8 damage out to each of my characters. So the rabbit is going to go for the mouse, and the mouse is going to go for the bear. So if I can get rid of the mouse, the shield will take care of the damage going to the... Yeah, going to him. He won't actually lose any vitality. All right, so let's focus on the mouse. So from here, let's lean in to if it breaks their armor. So this will definitely break their armor. And so we gain fury. And then from here, We'll use the one more point, and we should be able to finish him off. And he's gone. So now we just have this guy to deal with, but he's out of stamina, so now we have to click on our bear friend. We could kick him to the back row, and he might not get his turn. Let's see here. If the characters in the front row deal +4 damage, so we want to do this first. There, took, 6 off his armor and then 4 into his health. And then we'll do, might as well kick him into the back row. And then block up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just block up and we'll be okay. That was a good turn because we used all our cards. We didn't have to worry about anything. And we'll just finish this guy off. So longsword, damage everything, strike. So typically as I've played this game, I try to lead in with the class specific cards to get them out of the way so I know that they're used appropriately and effectively. That's not always going to be the case with your guys' games. But let's do 8 damage there. Let's do another 5 and finish him off. And victory, first victory. After 3 rounds, you need to click on these to collect them. This is the voice of experience. I've clicked moved on and wondered where I was supposed to get money. I thought I got money. That was not the case. I actually wound up hurting myself by not clicking and getting the stuff that I needed to. So make sure that you're clicking on each of those. Toe to toe, gain toe to toe. Whenever this character attacks an opponent on the same lane, gain 6 armor. Okay. Remove all stacks of winded. For every stack removed, gain restoration. That'd be nice. That couples with the bear's will ability, but at the same time it takes a will to use it, so it's not like I could do that. Deal 5 damage each time you play this card in combat, plus 5 damage. If unplayed during cleanup, damage is reset. So we have to keep using this card to get the real benefit from it. I think I want to go with this card here, lean into the attack. So those cards fall away, and now we're going to enter the city proper. Enter the city. A small hatchway leads into a damp, dark chamber behind the city wall. For House Blackfoot. Forward we go. Now we've entered the city. And so you can see the number of cards in each deck, and it looks like no matter what we do, we're going to have combat. And these are just normal combats, they're not elite fights. So we'll just take the middle one. Alright, so these are cutthroats. And you're splitting the damage. You're doing 2 times 4, which is 8. Alright. And you have 16 health. So I'm going to... I don't have any block cards. This is just going to be everything, take their armor off and do another 2. I need to focus on you, because your damage will cut through the armor and hit his life points. Hit Cartwright's life points, so I need you to die. 5 damage. Unfortunately, we can't get our one ability to proc, so if we did... Well, if we just block here, then I don't have to worry about it. And then we'll just hit you again. Let me do that. And there. And get him down to 1 health. And then call that good. And they should not get through our armor. Nice. And then they moved. Okay. Oh, now they're putting bleeds on their attacks. So we definitely need to get rid of them. Let's see here. Gain 50 armor and pacify. So that means they can't act the rest of the turn. Kickback. Vanguard if they're in the front row. That's a bit excessive to kill him. We do not have any attack cards whatsoever. But if I do kill you, that's for the benefit of all. You're attacking him and attacking him. Okay, so one's a take cover card. So if I do this, there, and this will get banished, and it will take cover on you. So that gets rid of that card out of our deck. And then, I will finish you off, like so. And then our bear friend will, might as well just shield while we can and kick him into the back row. And that way he can't attack us, and we evaded that damage. So that's the weird nuances that you want to make sure you're paying attention to. Moving them into the ranks so that they don't hit you is really, really important for not taking damage over the long-term gameplay. So you want to make sure you're understanding that mechanic there. It took me a while to grasp it, and some people will definitely struggle with it. I could see that, but you want to make sure you're trying your best to understand it as soon as possible, so you're maximizing your turn economy and maximizing your damage output. So this is his attack, our mouse's attack. Sansford, I apologize. But it looks like we can just finish him off right here, so I don't need to worry too much. Yeah, just 8 damage and then gone, and we win. So we get the Florins, and let's see what card we get. If the target, bloodless for the target, to deal 3 damage, 3 cards. Good and bad, because we don't really have a high amount of stamina to use a lot of cards. So I don't kind of want to take this one right now. And swap positions, okay, but that takes a will and a stamina. War cry. Apply equal to weapon damage. Move to the front row. Oh, that could be good for our bear. That could be crazy good if we get another stamina point. And all right, let's see here. Sparring partner. Courage. This will take some guts. Strength can be found. Chance to improve. Okay, that's a chance to improve our stats. And athletic wolf stands beside some training dummies, each scarred from a lifetime of sword work. Okay. She looks like she knows her trade. We could increase her stats. And then we gotta just get a level up. Quick thinking. An opportunity presents itself for one of the recruits to improve themselves. So, what's the difference here? Leveling up is a level up. But then, like, what's increased stats? I know we'll gain a level up when our hit or XP gets to the certain point that it needs to get to. The counter here represents how long these will stay active on your board. So even though you have a lane that has 15 cards in it, if there's a counter on a card that's like 2 or 3, that card's going to persist there for the foreseeable. I kind of want to do the sparring partner. Let's do the sparring partner. Sparring partner. As you approach, the wolf sizes you up with a quick glance and selects a sparring sword from a nearby rack. What are you looking to train, friend? She asks in a strict but pleasant manner. You look experienced, but there's always room to improve. I don't know. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, maybe I needed 350 florins to actually do that. So I get nothing. I wasted my time, and I wasted the level up. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. Back alley. Remove the next 2 cards, so we can bring that down to 12. Quick round. We don't need to heal, but we can go to the weapon cache. Let's do that. You quickly haul the chest to a nearby alley and unlock it. You'd best take a look at what's inside. Okay, and weapon cache it is. Look at this. We have a lot of stuff to pick from. So there's also no, let's say, restrictions on weapons. Like, anyone can use anything that I've seen so far in this game. There's not really a differentiation, like mouse can only use this, unless it has that specific symbol associated with it. But the weapons, for the most part, as I've seen it, they've been perfectly neutral in all aspects. Medium armor, superior medium armor, regular medium armor. I think that's the one we're going to go with, because that... And then in 1 stamina each turn. Oh, okay, so that's kind of a good idea to keep that on him. Is that a superior? That is a superior shirt, so we're definitely going to swap those 2 out. And again, you see the portraits, they changed based on what we put on there. So again, the amount of detail and investment that the developers have put on this game is huge, and you can see it come through on everything. Now let's see here. Spawn rapid fire. So with 2, we can spawn rapid fire, deal 5 times 2 damage. Wow, that's pretty good. And then we have bleeding, 11 damage if your opponent has no armor. Apply bleed. That's a pretty good one too. Um, I'm kind of torn. I've never actually tried the bow build before, and maybe we can do that this run just to see what happens with it. Because the point of these runs is to experiment and have fun. Why don't we do that? Why don't we try that out and see what happens? I could live to regret it. Could, I mean, it would definitely change our flow of combat dramatically, because the great sword hits all the enemies in the row, regardless. This, I think I'm gonna wanna. I might just hold on to it. Is this a one-handed? That is a one-handed. I wonder. Let's do this. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? Total failure? That's fine. And then I wonder, I'll bring this along with us just to have it, just so you guys can see that mechanic as well. All right, and then we have a combat. Let's just take the one in the middle. It doesn't necessarily matter. I don't know of any way that you can actually see what the combats do or what the future cards are. But now you see our character actually has the bow in their portrait or in their sprite. It's weird that the string is on the outside of their hand. That would be more on their inner body. But hey, whatever, not a big deal. Apply equal to... So the parentheses is telling you how many that will apply. If I click on the mouse, you'll see that it applies 8. If I click on the bear, you'll see that it applies 5. So we definitely want to use this with our mouse, because that gives us the most utility from the mouse. But unfortunately, then he can't do anything. He's kind of tapped out, as it were. So, and then what's here? Going to do 8 damage, 8 damage, 8 damage. So you do need to guard. Yeah, you're kind of... Well, if I do... So if I did War Cry, and move swap right to front, there, okay, and then I block, and then I'll put the guard on you, and then let's have you hit one of the guys that's attacking you. Finish him off instantly. Bam, and then that depleted off, and then now our mouse friend will just hit the one that's hitting you. Yeah, hit the one that's hitting you, and we'll end our turn. Alright, let's see here. So then our mouse friend has the hatchet, so we're going to want to use that one first, because then I'll get our Fury stacks up. And then if we did our strike card, unfortunately there's not really an easy way. Yeah, so you're attacking the mouse, you're attacking the bear. So we'll just finish him off right there. And then unfortunately there's not really anything else that we can do. Yeah, let's just gain armor. He's not gonna get through the shield. He's only gonna do 6 damage, which is fine. And we'll just end our turn. Alright, and then our hatchet. Alright, so let's see here. What do we have? We have a kick. You're attacking the bear this time. And so this is the thing that I was talking about. We can't actually use this card. It's stuck in our draw because it's effectively as if we were carrying it. So those kind of subtle nuances are built into your deck, so you have to weigh the pros and the cons of carrying something with you if you're not going to use it. And there's only 2 slots, so it's like, can you handle that? Does it make sense to do that? I haven't encountered any cards that allow me to effectively change that, but maybe there are and I just don't know they exist yet. Now, as far as anything else goes, looks like you're just going to do 10 damage, which is going to be blocked anyways. So let's just hit you hard as we can. And there, that's unfortunately all we can do, and I'll kick you to the back row. That way we don't actually get any damage, and we'll end our turn. And then now that's effectively banished, so it won't come back into our deck. Vanguard, if he's in the front row, not in the front bow. Oh, let's do this. Let's see what this is all about. And they're free, and they do 5 times 2, so 10 damage. Wow, that's going to be devastating in future. Awesome. So this is Banners of Ruin. This was Busy Gamer Dad showing you a game for our session gameplay series. Where here on the channel we pick a game that's a pretty good game to pick up, put down, that has really good tool tips, so you can come back to it at a later date, after a week, after a day, and kind of unwind after a busy time doing things, or if you've just had a great day and you want to reward yourself by playing some video games and relaxing. Totally good for you in that regard as well. I'll have the link for this in the YouTube description. I'll have the description for the game in the YouTube description. The like, comment, subscribe thing is really helpful. Not needed though. Your viewership is just enough for me. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you have some good luck out there. Hopefully you have some fun. See you in the next one. Bye.